Seize the opportunity. Consumer and public attitudes are changing. The link between the quality of the food we eat and our state of health has clearly been made, and there is an increasing need for consumers to understand how and where food is produced. People are turning away from fast convenience foods and over-processed meals in search of fresher, better quality and more nutritious foods. Sales of healthy food options, including fresh fruit and vegetables, organic food, wholemeal bread, yogurt and semi-skimmed milk are all on the increase. The public are constantly reminded of the need to eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetables a day. In primary schools throughout the country, children are provided with free fruit and vegetables as a mid-morning snack. And the nutritious quality of school meals has also recently hit the headlines through Celebrity Profile. The focus on health and nutrition for children and young adults, and for those in hospitals or in residential care homes, has also become much more high profile. Despite the UK fresh produce industry being able to provide year-round availability of fruit, salads and vegetables from both UK and overseas suppliers, consumers are now considering the importance of seasonality, flavour, taste, provenance and food miles. People are also becoming more interested in the local or regional supply of fresh produce. As this new awareness and interest spreads, those responsible for purchasing for food supply and catering services for the public sector are facing enormous challenges. Public sector food procurement is valued at around £1.8 billion per annum. It includes the catering requirements for schools and colleges, for hospitals and residential care homes, for prisons, universities, police and civil service employees across the country. In every one of these organisations, people have higher expectations and stronger demands about the taste and quality of the food they eat. This change in attitude within the public sector has a direct impact on the UK fresh produce industry and provides a valuable opportunity for UK horticultural businesses to supply this sector. Not only does this allow you to widen your customer base, it also enables more crop utilisation, as public sector product requirements are often complementary to retailer requirements. Government policy on public sector food procurement is clear. It focuses on increasing the consumption of healthy and nutritious foods, while supporting and strengthening the capacity of local food producers to meet demand. This DVD introduces the UK horticultural industry to the market opportunities and processes. It's divided into 6 separate sections to give you the information you need to exploit this new market and help expand your business. Food is now seen as a key economic, social and environmental driver. Public sector food buyers are committed to the health, social and environmental agendas. They need to be able to source and purchase quality produce while understanding and addressing the requirements of traceability, sustainability, food miles, environmental impact, food safety and, of course, value for money. Public sector buyers are currently looking to source the fresh, nutritious, quality produce they need from more local suppliers. So, as a food producer, you need to plan very carefully and act promptly if you want to become an established supplier within this rapidly growing marketplace. Many of those responsible for public sector food procurement already have a major commitment to local sourcing. They're working closely with regional food groups and regional development agencies and are actively finding ways of working with local producers. Many other public sector buyers are interested to find out more about the fresh produce industry and what it can offer. Whilst public sector food procurement is price sensitive, there are characteristics of the sector that the horticultural industry can value. These include length of contract, favourable business terms, security of payment, provision of safe, regulated food, and an opportunity to supply fruit, salad and vegetable products that may fall outside the specifications of the retail sector. So where do you begin? Don't sit back and wait until the phone rings. It won't. If you don't make the first move, you might be missing an opportunity to develop your business and exploit a new market opportunity. The procedures for the commissioning of supply contracts will vary by local authority, but can broadly be divided into three areas. For minor contracts up to £10,000, items might be purchased through centrally negotiated contracts. If not, then it's recommended that 3 written quotes are collected. For ordinary contracts worth up to £100,000, a minimum of 3 suppliers are considered and evaluated in terms of value for money and quality. Major contracts with a value over £100,000 will always go through a formal competitive tendering process and will be advertised in the official journal of the European Union. There are also 2 other processes that local authorities can use for the procurement of food. Open tendering is a one-stage process where all suppliers responding to an advertisement will be invited to submit a tender. Restricted procedure is a 2-stage bidding process in which potential suppliers expressing an interest in tendering are sent a pre-qualification questionnaire from which a shortlist is drawn up of suppliers invited to tender. If you are seeking specific tender opportunities for the supply of fruit and vegetables, they will be advertised in a range of websites and journals. The following websites and journals will advertise them. The National Opportunities Portal provides a database of public sector contracts worth up to £100,000 by region and product. It's designed to bring together public sector buyers with suppliers. The Tenders Electronic Daily, TED, provides for online viewing of the official journal of the European Union. You can also check out local authority websites, trade journals and local and regional newspapers. For further help, the Supplying Government website advises on contact points in government organisations and how to find advertisements for contracts. Your local regional centre of excellence will be able to give you information on where to find local authority contracts and provide information on the filling in of forms and completing tenders. The reference section of this DVD has all this information and further details on opportunities and guidance available to you. Authorities may be willing to undertake a pre-tender meeting. This is your opportunity to ask questions and find out more about the businesses for which you wish to tender. Who do you buy food for?
Education Contract Services is schools meals provider for Bradford Council and caters for approximately 200 schools throughout the Bradford area. A wide variety of food is purchased for the school menus, including fresh fruit and vegetables, fresh meat and poultry, dairy produce and dry goods.
What amount and types of fresh produce are you buying?
Due to the high volumes of produce, especially fresh fruit and vegetables used in school, it's necessary to buy pre-prepared vegetables, certainly things like potatoes, onions, cabbage, swede, carrots, are already bought in, washed, peeled, and in a variety of cuts, including diced, shredded, sliced. Other vegetables are brought in whole, such as salad items and fruit, and these are actually prepared on the day freshly by our catering staff for the meals.
Has the emphasis on good quality, nutritious, local fresh produce affected the way you purchase?
Certainly. Bradford Council wants to ensure that all children throughout the area can enjoy a healthy and nutritious meal that benefits both health and education, and therefore continues to develop menus and recipes that include more fresh and seasonal produce, and wherever appropriate looks to source these locally.
How and where do you source fresh produce within your local area?
Bradford Council uses a regional distributor wholesaler who supply goods to all our schools, fresh vegetables and salad and fruit. And the majority of these are sourced locally from Yorkshire, Humberside and Lancashire.
Can local suppliers fulfil all your needs throughout the year, or do you have to source from other suppliers at certain times of the year?
Due to the wide range of fruits and vegetables we offer on school menus, local suppliers aren't able to supply everything. Certainly fruits such as oranges, pineapples, mangoes, etc. obviously need to come abroad because of the climate.
When it comes to planning, there is one golden rule. Only bid for contracts you know you can totally fulfill. Think carefully about the capacity of your business and exactly what you can offer, either yourself as an individual business or as part of a group. Be confident that you can work within the parameters dictated by the supply requirements, including product specifications and delivery windows. You need to think long-term. Most public sector contracts run for 3 to 5 years and expect year-round availability. Taking seasonality into account, you need to show that you can meet demand. Think about how you might extend the season through storage and frozen vegetables. Many customers will be interested to hear that you can supply semi- or part-prepared vegetables or fruit or organic produce. Be prepared to describe the legal standards and regulation of food safety and health and safety that apply within your business. Look at HDC Keeping It Clean DVD and HDC Health and Safety DVD for useful tips. Describe the quality of product, how the produce can be supplied with continuity and consistency, and how transport and distribution requirements are addressed. Explore all the options to ensure you can supply 100% of your customers' needs. Many public sector organisations, including local authorities, hold approved supplier lists of potential suppliers who can be invited to tender, especially for the lower value contracts. There may be a formal way onto the list which you need to be aware of. If you want to become an approved supplier, you will be required to verify the suitability, experience and expertise of your business. Look at the reference section for the detailed information you will need to supply. You will also be asked for business references. Some authorities may require a GM policy which declares that foods containing genetically modified elements will not knowingly be supplied, and demonstrable water and energy conservation measures. If your business satisfies the minimum requirements of the public sector organisation, you will become an approved supplier. If you do not meet the minimum requirements, you will be provided with constructive feedback to enable you to resubmit your business information. Procurement officers do not have the resource to work with a multitude of individual small producers, but many contracts will be too large or too complex for one single supplier. This is where partnerships and working collaboratively with other producers and elements of the supply chain will pay dividends. By working together, you can take advantage of economies of scale and make a stronger case for large-scale and multi-product contracts. Regional food groups within your area can provide help to growers wishing to form collaborative groups. You will find a link to the regional food groups in the reference section. The logistics of distribution and delivery is complex and requires experts who are skilled in planning, delivery routes and schedules. Within public sector supply contracts, delivery windows and times tend to be narrow, order lead times may be tight, and some orders require standard produce units to be subdivided. The delivery cost of low-value orders isn't always recoverable. Major national distributors such as 3663 and Brakes are highly skilled logistical operators. They fulfill all the operating and technical standards placed on national and regional food distributors and are willing to work with local food businesses to supply public sector organisations. There may also be local high-quality distributors who can combine private and public sector food deliveries within your area and minimise delivery costs. Food hubs and supplier groups will need to develop partnerships with distributors appropriate to the complexities of the delivery networks. The opportunity is there and the buyers are making the right moves. But what about you? How well are you prepared? For many growers, one of the first hurdles can be learning how to deal with the tender process. Until you get used to the way the system works, this can at first appear to be complex. It's really a question of getting to know what's expected of you as a supplier and understanding the process of how tenders are evaluated and commissioned. These are normally stated in the tender document and will include issues such as cost, food safety, legality, quality policies and procedures, ability to meet the service requirements, compliance with specifications and logistics. Before you start to fill out a tender, do your research thoroughly. Don't take anything for granted. Explain your business in detail. Describe its key features, the innovative and development culture within your business, and give details of the food safety, legality and quality systems you have integrated into your business, such as Assured Produce, British Retail Consortium and HACCP. Make sure you provide evidence that your business has achieved that standard and evidence to support what you are saying about your business and your capabilities. Comment on how the produce is grown, aspects of sustainable production, biological control, use of field margins through countryside stewardship and membership of environmental schemes, including LEAF and the use of wildflower and beetle banks. Talk about the ability of your business to anticipate and adapt to changes in statutory obligations. Describe compliance with local and national policy and practice, and particularly those that the local authority might be sensitive to. You will need to demonstrate clearly that you understand how to meet the terms of the contract. More and more business is being carried out electronically. E-purchasing and e-supply systems are becoming the accepted way of working, so you will need to get used to completing forms online. There are a few general rules to follow when filling in any forms. First, answer all the questions as fully as possible, providing all the information requested. Make sure you return the bid in the appropriate format. Don't change the order of the documentation or submit alternative responses. Sign and date the documentation where instructed. Make sure you complete each stage on time and follow all the instructions. Pay close attention to the deadline. You must return the tender by the time and date specified in an unmarked envelope to the correct address, otherwise it will not be considered. We have spoken to food producers who are already working with the public sector to find out how they manage the contracts and what difference it has made to their businesses. What size of farming operation have you got and what crops are you growing?
Yeah, we're producing about 300 acres of organic vegetables ranging from potatoes and carrots, which are main crops, through to other smaller areas of sweet corn, brassicas, courgettes, pumpkins, radishes, etc.
Which customers do you supply to private sector and public sector?
The main contract we have with the public sector is the School Fruit and Vegetable Scheme run by NHS PASA, and we supply about 25,000 bags or 250,000 pieces into Yorkshire and Humber region every week.
What made you decide to bid for a public contract?
We were looking to expand the business whilst also adding value. We knew that a public sector contract would allow us to have a certain level of income, and therefore we could base our expansion plans on that contract income.
How has the nature of your business changed with the move to public contracts?
The business has moved from producing commodity products that were sold to pre-packers to now we retail our own products in specially branded bags into the School Fruit and Veg scheme that allows us to add value and increase the income to the farm.
What are your future plans for the business?
Future plans are to expand the prepared vegetable side of the business. That will allow us to supply local authority catering contracts. They are looking for more organic produce to serve the contracts and increase the healthy options within the schools.
Interest in fresh produce is gaining momentum all the time. The new school meal nutritional guidelines, stating that each child should receive 2 portions of fruit and vegetables every day, has created an increased demand for fresh produce. That's why you, as a horticultural business, need to act now to take advantage of the renewed interest in food quality and nutrition, regional and local sourcing, and new government guidelines within the public sector.
There's actually an opportunity here within public procurement because the supermarkets are very demanding in terms of shape and size and that sort of thing. So the crops that we grow are all grown to the same high standard, but not necessarily the right shape. For example, we may get cucumbers which are slightly bent. Now the supermarket doesn't want them, but what difference does it make when in the hospital kitchen or the school kitchen they're sliced or chopped up? it makes no difference at all. So there's a real opportunity here for public procurement to use some of these so-called outgrades, but actually they're of exactly the same quality. The UK retailers have the highest standards of anybody, and that's not just in terms of the shape or the colour of the product, but also what pesticides we're allowed to use, the way that we treat the environment, the way that we deal with waste and this sort of thing. Now, we can't actually grow part of the crop for the supermarkets and part of the crop for somebody else, so everything that we grow is grown to those very, very high standards. We have full traceability, so we can tell you when a crop was sown, when it was harvested, who harvested it. We can tell you absolutely everything about the crop with that traceability. So you're absolutely guaranteed that the product that you're getting is of the highest quality. And there are all sorts of assurance schemes which will guarantee that for you. We have the Red Tractor scheme, the Fresh Produce Assurance scheme, things like that. But these are independent auditing bodies who come round and ensure that the standards we grow to are the very highest standards. And when we import produce, we actually deal with the producers themselves and we make sure that they have the same standards as well. So by sourcing from the UK grower, even if he's importing the product, you can be sure of that quality. We're very used to distributing produce on a national scale. Typically, we go into regional distribution centres, and this is the time deliveries, so we're very accurate with the timing of these things. We're not actually used to local deliveries, but those chains actually do exist if you think about it. The hospitals and the schools are actually buying the produce already and are having it delivered. So the chains exist, it's just a case of us locking into those chains.
To help you get started, we have included a list of useful contacts in the reference section of this DVD. There is no doubt that our industry can meet the requirements of the public sector in terms of quality, freshness and price. The challenge is to prove that we have the professionalism, expertise and flexibility to take on contracts large or small and to seize the opportunity.